Well, folks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have ruled out 5 big-level starters for their upcoming game versus the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So, Todd Bowles has ruled out 5 players going up against Seattle. It is Mike Evans, it is Bucky Irving, Jamel Dean, Benjamin Morrison, and Christian Izien. Now, I don't expect many more guys to be ruled out besides these 5. I think you may see like one more inactive guy, 2. I don't remember how many players the Bucs have to have inactive on game day, but this is probably going to be the majority of the guys that are inactive for the game versus the Seahawks. And it's big names, dude. Evans is still recovering from his hamstring injury. This is now going to be the second game he is going to miss. Bucky is missing his first game with a foot and shoulder injury, I believe. So now he is out. We'll talk about who will step up in his absence. Jamel Dean, Benjamin Morrison are dealing with injuries. I think it was a hamstring for Morrison. Was it a hip injury for Dean? I can't remember. And Izien has a quad injury. I do remember that one. So a lot of offensive and secondary depth that is not going to be available in this game. Now, just breaking down who's going to step up in what circumstances. Of course, in the case of Mike Evans, you're going to be looking at Emeka Egbuka, who we just talked about winning the offensive Rookie of the Month for September. He is going to continue to step up. He has a crazy matchup against Devon Witherspoon. If Devon Witherspoon does play in this game, I know he's been unavailable in practice for the Seahawks this week, so pay attention to that as well. Having Godwin back helps out a lot. Having Godwin back helps out a lot. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. He was rusty last week, but you know what? I'll take a rusty Chris Godwin over a good amount of wide receivers in this league. So Chris Godwin is going to step up in the absence of that as well. Of course, Shep has been a big deal for the Bucs this year. Sterling Shepard will get into that mix also. Real quick, guys, before we dive deeper into it, I do want to say shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Guys, go download the Sleeper app today and enjoy football the way it was meant to be. That is together. Huge shout out to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of this channel. Now, Bucky Irving being out. That one is very, very unfortunate, but it does open up an opportunity for a player that a lot of Bucs fans have been clamoring for. Rachaad White is going to be that first guy up. That's not the guy I'm talking about, by the way, although Rachaad White is still an incredibly solid running back, in my opinion. He is going to be that starter with the... He's been running well this year, in my opinion, running with a lot of power, has looked good in pass blocking. It's been a fine receiving option as well. He will be your starter in this upcoming game. Sean Tucker is going to get more opportunities in this game. And that's the guy where a lot of people are like, yo, you give Sean Tucker more opportunities, he's going to go out there and be an absolute dog. Well, here's his opportunity. With Bucky Irving on the mend, Tucker is going to be that number 2 running back behind Rachaad White. They like to employ a lot of 2 running back types of stuff, so Tucker is going to be getting a big opportunity here. And then you have Josh Williams, who will probably be active. He's a former undrafted guy out of LSU. A lot of people like him as well. But of course, a lot of people are going to be very interested to see what Tucker can do in this upcoming game. Next, you have Jamel Dean and Benjamin Morrison. Those are 2 of your starting outside cornerbacks. Zion McCollum's still there, which thank goodness for that. He is going to be a big, big help in this upcoming game. But with the depth basically just blasted in terms of your outside cornerback depth, what are the Bucs to do here? Well, the first option, which I talked about in a separate video, was you could have Jacob Parrish slide from the nickel cornerback spot outside to the perimeter cornerback spot. But as a lot of people have talked about, and we've all talked about, who do you start at nickel cornerback there? Well, you could start a couple of different guys. You could start Tyke Smith there, maybe, but then that leaves you a little bit weaker at safety. Maybe you'd have to slot Kayvon Merriweather into the starting safety role there, because Izien being inactive adds even more to the secondary woes, because Izien can play both safety and nickel cornerback. So, like, if Izien was healthy, it could be a situation of like, well, yeah, either put Tyke Smith at nickel and slide Parrish to the outside, or just just move Parrish to the outside and put Izien in the nickel. Because Izien could take over at safety for Smith, or he could take over at nickelback for Parrish, but he's not playing either. So that's like a big blow to the Bucs defense as well. Kindle Vidor could step up at nickel cornerback if you needed him to, if you do want to move Parrish to the outside. You do have Josh Hayes. You do have Kindle Vidor, who could also play outside as well. In fact, if we go to Greg Auman's Twitter, he definitely, Jacob Parrish makes the most sense, though he also mentioned Kindle Vidor and Josh Hayes, who've only played special teams this season. Yeah, so that is an option. I talked about it earlier this week. Greg Auman mentioned it today. Bryce Hall, the dude's going to get elevated. He is 100% going to get elevated, in my opinion, and he could very well be a starting outside corner for the Bucs in this game. He really could be. So here's the scenarios in my head. Cornerback 1, Zion McCollum. Cornerback 2, Bryce Hall. Nickelback is Jacob Parrish. That's the first scenario, okay? That's probably what I would personally want to see. Scenario 2, Zion McCollum, cornerback 1, Jacob Parrish, cornerback 2, nickelback, Tyke Smith maybe, or Kindle Vidor. And then if it is Tyke Smith, Kayvon Merriweather is in at safety. If it's not Tyke Smith, Kindle Vidor slots in at nickel cornerback. That's like scenario 2 and 3. Option 3, or option 4 now, I'm getting myself confused. Zion McCollum, cornerback 1, Josh Hayes, Kindle Vidor, cornerback 2, and Jacob Parrish, nickelback. Those are kind of your options right now. I personally would want to see McCollum 1, Bryce Hall 2, Parrish stay in the nickel, and then just have Kindle Vidor and Josh Hayes as your backups. That's what I would do. And then you keep your safety position strong as well. So we'll see, man, but a lot of key injuries here. I'm curious. I don't think there's anything going on with the Seattle Seahawks right now, so it is what it is. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about it down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.